Hi guys, my name is Chloe Brown and welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, I'm so happy that you're here. Thank you for clicking on this video and watching it. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel down below and give this video a thumbs up if you liked it. So today I'm going to show you guys this very simple hairstyle. I'm actually going to start from wet hair to dry hair so you can see how I blow dry my hair, how I add that body into it. But I know a lot of times when you run a flat iron through your hair, you can lose a lot of that body. So I kind of go over the products and techniques that I use to add that body back up into your hair. I also wanted to show you guys this hairstyle because it's a very simple, undone, flowy movement. I don't know, it just isn't perfectly pin straight. It's not like, it does have a little bit of movement in there. I don't know, it's like my favorite way to just lazy hair. So without further ado, let's get right into the video. All right, so my hair is wet. I put Paul Mitchell Super Skinny Serum in it. Anyways, I'm gonna be using the Croc 2K. This is a brush-free technology. It's a professional hair dryer. Croc just came out with this, I think this past year, so 2018, I believe. It is so light, but it has such high power. So I'm gonna give it a go today. There's 3 different settings. Here's the low setting, medium, high, and turbo. All right, once we've gotten to this phase of my hair, I'm going to section it off. And I'm going to be using the 43 millimeter size barrel round brush from Croc, and I'm going to add just some body at the roots of my hair and kind of sleek it down. Also, here's a trick that I do for my crazy undercut, because I was like kind of doing this while I was blow drying my hair. I'm gonna just set it at the lowest setting, and then we are going to point this down. Boom. Look how easy that was. And then you just kind of, now that it's nice and soft, you just tuck it behind your ears. All right, now that we are at this phase of my hair, everything is completely blow dried. I have that lasting body that is gonna be sitting right here. And the way that I did that was I just kind of round brushed wherever I felt my hair was gonna go. But I always put it on the cool setting so that it cools standing up where I want it. And now I'm just going to take my new classic flat iron. This is from Croc 2. This is the infrared one. I'm going to turn that infrared on so you can see that shining light. That just allows heat to distribute a lot faster so that it doesn't bring as much heat onto your hair. I'm also going to do the temperature at 350 degrees. I don't ever go over 350 degrees on my flat iron, and I'm just going to run through just making sure that everything is super sleek and laying down. All right, this next section I am just going to straighten, and then I am gonna add some type of bend on my very last few sections. So I'm just curling it under so that it hugs my neck. Right? And I think I'm gonna do a deeper part today, just a little off center, not super deep. Okay, so on these sections, I'm gonna take my flat iron and put it upside down and just flip some type of bend in there so it doesn't go straight back, but it kind of lays on top and fluffs out like Farrah Fawcett. This one I'm just gonna curl and just do like an extra little movement in there. And that way when I tuck it, it just kind of has some flowy pieces that are moving back. This back piece, I'm just gonna curl and over exaggerate that bend just so it has some movement back there. Now I do have a couple more layers on this side that I want to really focus on. So I'm going to take my flat iron, putting it up at an angle, and I'm going to flip it around, just adding a very slight bend there. And then I think the rest of it I will just flat iron down, just because I do have some extra layers on top that I have to curl too. All right, so we have 2 more layers left. Here's the next one. Now this back piece I'm going to take and I'm just going to add that extra bend in it. Nothing crazy, but just so that it kind of flips out just a tiny bit. I'm going to focus this at the root up here and just add another bend. I think I'm going to change the position of that curl just to go back. This one I'm going to go under and back. So I'm flipping it out just so it has all of that movement in there. And this one I'm going to go under and curl this way, just so it swoops down and does that. The key here is just adding movement. We do not want like certain bends or kinks or perfectly curled pieces. We just want that tiny bit of movement so that our hair isn't stick straight. Same thing up here. I'm just going to curl this from underneath, and then we're just going to add a little extra curl. This one, I'm going to put the curling iron on top and flip it back so it has that movement right there. And then this one, I'm going to go from under and curl it forward so it's right there in my face. And take this bottom and kind of straighten it out, kind of flip it so it matches this side a little bit. I'm gonna flip that out, make it a little more straight. Okay, now I am going to take some texture spray and we're just gonna add a little bit of dry texture in there. This just allows your hair not necessarily to lose its shininess, but it adds some matte in there, like it makes it a little more matte, but it also adds some grip so that your hair isn't so silky soft, so that you can literally just take out all of your volume. The volume that we added in with the blow dryer, we want to keep up and off of our scalp, so that dry texture spray will help with that. The dry texture spray that I am going to use today is from the Generic Value products. This is from Sally Beauty. This is the Kenra knockoff or dupe. This smells a lot better in my opinion than the Kenra one. I do like the Kenra one the way that it smells, but this is just, I like it a lot better, and it's half the price. So I'm just gonna lift up a section of hair, spray it all in there, and then spray on the bottom. Lift up another section, spray it in, make sure you get the back. And then I like to just lift my hair up and make sure that I'm getting all the ends too. All right, so then you can move around your hair, and your hair now has grip in it. And so it is going to fluff right up. Now, to make this stay, I mean, it does have all of that and it still will be separate. I don't necessarily want my hair too crunchy today, so I'm going to use a very light hold hairspray, and the hairspray that I am going to choose today is the Aveda Air Control hairspray. It's very light. I really like the smell of it. It's not too over in your face. It's definitely a buildable hairspray, but it keeps the volume, which I absolutely love. So I am going to part my hair again, spray some of that in there, let it dry for a second. I like to move a little bit of my hair and then put it down. And then I like to take my fingers and add that separation right there. And then make your room really foggy. And then spray everywhere. So people ask me about my swoop bangs. I showed you guys how I did those, but I'm just gonna add some lift under there. So my hair is very heavy, and that's why I do like using that dry texture spray. I mean, you guys saw my hair after I blow dried it, it was huge and voluminous, but the second I started running that flat iron through it, it got kind of heavy because it got really silky and the texture was out of it. So that's why I use that dry texture spray to add that texture back in, to add kind of like those, because I took out all the frayed parts, but I do want to add some type of grit so that it does separate again. So this is the final product. I hope you guys like it. It's just kind of like an easy, not perfect, but kind of like that undone look, but not necessarily super hard to recreate. I know that you guys watched. If you haven't already, I suggest you go watch it because it's my favorite way to do my hair, but it's the undone soft waves, and that is done with a curling iron, and a lot of you guys are having a hard time trying to figure out how to curl the barrel and release it, curl it and then release it. So I figured that I'd just make something a little simpler and easier for you guys to understand, and for you guys to try at home. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope to see you in my next video. Bye.